And as advertised, the Panthers are here. We're going to ask Ben Jacobson to start off with a statement on this ball game. Then we'll go to questions for just the three student athletes. Ben, please.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, we played a good basketball game. Really proud of that effort. Defensively, I thought we were that's as good as we have guarded them in the 3 times that we've played them. Had some great individual performances defensively. Isaiah did a tremendous job on Taylor. Some other guys individually, but I thought our team defense was as good as we've had against Evansville, and that we needed that tonight. You know, with them at full strength, we knew that we were going to have to play our best or very close to our best, and I thought our guys executed well. I thought we were aggressive in transition, and we put together a good defensive game. We beat a good team.
Questions for the student athletes. We'll start right here on the right-hand side.
Isaiah, can you talk a little bit about that matchup with Taylor? Obviously, you had a big game against you guys at your place the last time. What types of adjustments did you make, and how much do you kind of look forward to that type of a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, he came in, gave us 26 points on our home court, and we knew just as a team, not even just me, as a team, we knew we couldn't let that happen again if we wanted a good chance to win this game. But, yeah, I mean, Coach emphasized a lot defense. I mean, we love playing defense. We practiced a lot on defense, so we had to shut him down if we wanted a chance to win.
Hunter, your role has been elevated these last few games with Juwan being out. How much are you just kind of embracing this final stretch of your career here, and how much did you guys need that tonight, knowing that Bennett would, even though he played, was still a little hobbled?
I'm just going out there and being as confident as I can. I know Coach trusts me, and I'm just going out there to play my hardest every day, and that's all I can do when I'm out on the court. And we knew Benny is a little banged up, but he's fine. I mean, he's a great player. But other than that, we just went out there and played really hard, and that's what got us a W.
Isaiah, I guess just what did you see from Ryan Taylor? Any kind of I guess just what did he try to do differently against you throughout the game?
I mean, I could tell after the first possession I was kind of getting into him. So, I mean, he was kind of losing focus, like, right off the jump. So I was just trying to stay in his head, switch up the defense a lot on him. I mean, I did well, and my team did well, getting me through screens and all that. They run a lot of actions for him. So I was just trying to switch it up on him and just stay in his head.
How engaged were you guys off those switches when you had your chance at Taylor, and just your thoughts on kind of how the guards communicated and were able to work together there defensively today?
Yeah, that's something we'd practiced since our home game with him is switching a little more, seeing if we can deny him some catches. So I thought obviously this was the best job we'd done all year with that. All the guys kind of played on a string, connected, did a good job talking. And then, I don't really think they had many chances at slipping to the basket, or I don't think we had many miscommunications. So obviously, everyone who was involved in the switches did a great job.
Wyatt, you've been in these scenarios before where you have to play back-to-back on a run here. What's the biggest key, body-wise and everything over the next 12 hours or so to make sure you guys are as fresh as can be tomorrow?
Yeah, I would say obviously getting some good quality food in you and getting rehydrated. We obviously lost a lot of sweat tonight, and then making sure we're doing a good job of getting our sleep, getting as much rest as we can. Obviously, it's a short turnaround, so you just got to do the best job you can with it.
Anything else for the student athletes of UNI? Okay, gentlemen, we'll dismiss you so you can get hydrated. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll stay here with head coach Ben Jacobson for a while longer. First question is right here, 2 in the front row.
Ben, you talked about being a good defensive effort against Evansville. All year, was this probably maybe one of your better defensive efforts, do you think?
Yeah, we had a good one on Saturday against Missouri State. This was better. I would tell you in the last 3 weeks, our last 5 or 6 games coming into this one, that we've been better at both ends of the floor. But this would be our best defensive performance for sure in a long time. Yep.
The matchup with Isaiah and Ryan, how much did, obviously winning that matchup, did you know that would be one of the biggest factors tonight.
Yeah, that was after having played him twice. I think Isaiah had knew that he had to do a better job, and he's a terrific young guy. He's and he really gets it. No matter what it is that we're talking about, offense, defense, doesn't matter. Set plays, he understands it and he gets it. And in this case, and really without us making a huge deal out of it, he knew and took it personal that he was going to have to do a good job. He's just that kind of young man, and that obviously paid off for us tonight. If Taylor gets 25 tonight, the way Drew Smith played, we were going to have to make some more shots because we defended him well. But if Taylor would have gone for big numbers, if Isaiah had not done the job that he did, we were just going to have to make some more shots. So I give him a ton of credit.
Coach, obviously with the quick turnaround, you've got number one Loyola next. What's kind of the idea for your game plan going up against number one seed?
Well, they're just awfully efficient at both ends of the floor. They don't make mistakes defensively. They've shot a high percentage all year from the floor. They know what they're looking for. They've got good experience on their team. Even they've got some young guys that have played great and some new guys, but they've got some good experience on their team. So they know what they want to get done, and most of the time they get to the things that they want. And so we're going to have to play our best game again. This was, as I talked about, this was as good as we have played, and we've played good basketball for a stretch here. But tonight was good. We put in a really good effort, and we're going to have to play our best game tomorrow. But it's going to take good effort.
Coach, just your thoughts on the minutes you got out of Bennett coming off the injury and where he's kind of sitting going forward as well with the short rest.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. Not 100%, but I'm certain he's 85 to 90, minimum. So he'll be fine. As a senior, that isn't anything that's going to keep him out of minutes or extended minutes. He'll be fine. No.
You talked about Hunter playing well as one of the keys coming in here. His minutes were kind of hit or miss to start the year, but with Juwan being out, what about him gives you guys a lot of trust and a lot of confidence sliding in here of late?
Yeah, his leadership and communication have made a big difference for us. And what he's done in transition with our offense, having his eyes up and throwing that ball up ahead. So the balls move pretty well, and he's got a really good sense for when to push it in transition and when to take a look over and see what we want to run. And most of the time when we're running something, it's either to throw it into Ben or throw it into Clint, or use some sort of ball screen. And he's able to get to all of that stuff. So I think as much as his play, he's made shots for us, and he's a good three-point shooter. He's comfortable shooting that pull-up. That's why we put him in a lot of those isolation spots tonight at the top of the floor, because he's comfortable doing that. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability to do that. But his leadership and communication have been great for our team, and we've been a much more efficient team, since he's been in that spot.
Ben, just throughout the season, haven't played Evansville 3 times. Just what did you kind of see from them each time as the season progressed?
Marty's as good a coach as there is, and it's just you never like to see guys, and we've become very good friends. You never like to see guys that are great coaches and do it right, and that have become good friends. You don't like to see them go through a year where you're not healthy. There's just nothing. None of us have any control over that aspect, and they had to play a year this year where they were not healthy, and we saw it in the last home game. Drew Smith was terrific, and we saw again today that he was terrific. If he's healthy all year long, they're not playing in this game. They're in a different game, probably most likely in the quarterfinals. So you just don't like to see that happen. Because with a healthy team all year, they're going to finish somewhere in the middle of the pack, or a little bit higher. And having said that, they're still a game or two away from being there, just because they play so hard on every possession, And I think that's, that probably gets tossed around a little bit too much. That guys, hey, that team plays hard and they play with toughness, and well, Evansville does. I haven't played against Marty for most of my 12 years as a head coach. They play as hard on every possession as anybody that we play against, and harder than most. And so I think they had. I know it's tough from a record standpoint, but with the injuries they had, I think Marty did a great job again, and his kids did a great job again.
The second Loyola matchup was close for a while and then kind of got out of hand late. What's the biggest things you guys need to improve on and do differently from that second matchup?
Yeah, Custer had his first game back was our home game early in the year, and he had a really good second half. He made some plays and made some shots in the second half that really helped him. And they're, obviously, as the player of the year, their team is they're more in sync when he's on the floor, and that showed up in the second half of our home game with him. And at their place, he had a great finish to the first half. I think we were up 18-17, or either way, it was a one-possession game with about 2 minutes to go in the half. And he went on a 7-0 run, maybe a 9-0 run, to put him up 7 at halftime. So he's got the ability to do that. We're going to have to make sure we do a better job with him. The problem becomes, everyone else can play. Cartwick had a great year. I've always thought a ton of Richardson. Ingram's having his best year. The other starting guard, Towns, is really good for a new guy to the league, and they're getting some help off their bench. So it's not like you can put everything you got into slowing Custer down, because those other guys they're either good players or they have experience and they're good players. So it's going to take a great defensive effort. We know that. And then we just got to be, hey, we got to have a little bounce in our step on offense like we had tonight. Get that ball moving up and down the floor. I thought Wyatt was aggressive in transition and found some shots. I thought Hunt did a good job in transition. Clint had a great start to the game tonight, was really aggressive. That's the way we got to play on offense. We got good players, and we just got to have a little bounce in our step and get that ball moving on offense.
Anything else for the head coach? Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Ben. Good luck.
Thank you.